was inspired to come out a few weeks ago after reading a column in USA Today. It said the gay-bashing culture of hockey had to change. Well, the writer of that article is Justin Bourne. As a former minor league hockey player, he was part of that culture. He joins me now from Phoenix. So explain the link to me, Justin, and how you think that your article may have had somehow some impact on Brendan's decision.
Well, I don't think Brendan came out as a result of my article. He's been out for a couple of years, and actually I didn't know about Brendan's story until I wrote the article. You know, in looking for a column, something interesting to write about, I was thinking about the culture of hockey for my USA Today piece. And really the whole hockey culture is permeated with sort of a misogynistic views and homophobic views, and you know really the first punchline you get to in the dressing room is the F word or anything gay-related, really. And when I ended up writing that article, I guess...
the F word, you mean fag here, not the other F word.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say that.
Well,
yeah.
we just did.
Well, it's been done now. So, yeah, when I ended up writing that article, Brendan ended up reading it, and my inbox was flooded. I had a huge response from people, and Brendan was one of those people, and obviously it caught my eye, being that he's the son of Burke, and what an important hockey figure he is. So I had asked Brendan for the permission to run his article for my blog readers, and he got permission from his dad and from Enrico Blasi, the coach of Miami of Ohio, where he works. And the story ended up on ESPN, so things worked out well for him.
It all came around. Listen, I looked at your article, and I got to praise you for your honesty. Your opening line, "I did nothing but contribute to hockey's culture of homophobia," referring to your own time that you spent in the locker room. Bring us into the locker room. I mean, is there that much rampant homophobia in there?
Oh man, they actually edited out my my original line, which was "I've said fag more times than a British smoker." It's awful. It really is, and it's not something that you're thinking about and like intentionally trying to like take a swipe at the gay culture. It's just that's the go-to thing. I mean, these hockey players are not a huge group of intelligent people. No offense to my own kind, but you know, a lot of times it's just sort of the default. You can't think of a comeback? Go with that one.
Oh, so given that. You know, given the fact that, yeah, this is Brendan Burke who's come out. He's not a professional hockey player, but he is the son of a very, very powerful and influential person in the NHL. Do you think this can make the difference to change that culture that you're talking about?
I mean, it can make a difference. It can make strides. You know, I mentioned earlier today in a piece of my writing that, you know, it's not going to be like, all right, it's cool to be gay now. You know, it is cool, but in the dressing rooms, it's still going to be a tough time, and I really feel, unfortunately for Brendan, that, you know, he said that the guys in Miami, their hockey team there, have been supportive of him. I'm sure at the back of the bus, they're still jokes. You know, I don't think that Brendan's coming out or public coming out is going to make a huge difference in the end, but I think it's a small stride in that little bit of progress, and you know, you got to start somewhere, and I think if this is a jumping off point, then you know, that's a good thing. Yeah,
and I think, you know, putting this into perspective here, Brendan's coming out, I don't know how much is the difference it'll make, but the fact that Brian Burke, and he has so emphatically said, you know, he says, considering, he said, my son is a pioneer and a trailblazer, and if he's going to blaze that trail, I'll stand beside him with an axe. I mean, I think shows that support, and he wants to create that culture. But you yourself had said it'll be hard to survive in the dressing room for the first player who comes out. Do you think it's going to take someone young coming through the ranks rather than an established star to come out? I mean, which do you think will be more likely?
Yeah, I think, like you said, the most important part of the whole thing, you know, it's wonderful for Brendan, but the most important part is that such a, you know, a firm, tough, like, you know, macho figure, someone that fits into the hockey stereotype, is so okay with it and without hesitation, and he should be. And I think that's where the big strides happen. In terms of which is going to be easier, I don't think coming up through the ranks is the right answer, because I don't think you'd come up through the ranks. I think it would be extremely difficult, not because you know, someone's going to get cut because they're gay, but I think it's certainly going to limit their opportunities. And given the chance to take a player who's heterosexual or homosexual, a coach is going to, you know, want to opt out of any media complications or dressing room complications that may arise from that one closed-minded individual on the team. So I think it will take someone who's already made it established to stand up and say it. But I certainly don't blame anyone for not standing up, because that's making their life a whole lot more difficult. And if they've got a good thing going, they're making a lot of money playing the NHL. you know, it would be tough to jeopardize that by standing up and being the first one, for sure.
Yeah, so the silence continues. Okay, Justin, good talking to you tonight. Thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks.